This smile on my face is about to change for something else. I don't have a problem with the cast of this movie. Their performances was on 100. I was pained that you have this talent and then the storyline limits them. You're told that someone is going to knock on your door. The person's aim is to drop you dead. And you are crying. That location for Kola's safe house, it was definitely not a safe house. Someone said after watching this movie, my IQ was reduced. I'm really speechless. Indeed, I am speechless. To be honest, this is one of the hardest movie reviews I have ever had to do my entire life. Welcome back to the Nollywood Insiders, where we review movies. Today we are reviewing the movie Landline. Landline is currently streaming on Amazon Prime Video and it is written, directed, produced by Dele, Doherty. And I heard that it is a debut. As in, is a debut for Dele. This is more like the first time he's producing, writing, and directing, and Landline is the product. Let's go into the storyline. Storyline talks about the life of a soldier and his very pregnant wife. I use the word very pregnant because she's almost due, and then there is a threat to her life. The husband is involved in something, in a massacre, and then he has to go to a safe house to stay because some people are after his life, and then the wife stays at home very pregnant and very alone. The people involved in the massacre sends an assassin to come kill his wife. It's like a loop. The husband is in the safe house. He gets this call from a landline that is disconnected. It's not supposed to be working. Strangely, it rings and someone from the future telling him in the next 2 minutes, someone is going to come into the house and murder your wife. So do this, try to save her and stuff like that. And then they go on and on. They try to save her. The assassin ends up killing her. And then there's a loop again. You know, you come back to that same place where the landline rings again. The person says, you know, someone is going to kill your wife. They try to save her. She ends up dead again. The loop keeps going on and on. Loop movies is a very tricky thing to do. Just like the movie The Beats, it's a loop movie, you know, when something happens over and over again. One of the reasons why people watch movies is for entertainment. If I'm going to be watching something over and over again, every time there should be a spice to it. That's one of the downsides of shooting a loop movie. It will save you production costs because, you know, it's one house, one costume, one makeup. It saves a lot in production, but it's very tricky when it finally comes out. I don't like loop movies, except for every time there's a loop, there's something interesting. For Landline, to be honest, it did not give what I expected it to give. So on the screen, we are putting the comments of people after seeing this movie. A lot of people expected more. A lot of people... Someone said after watching this movie, my IQ was reduced. So let's go into the cast and their performances. For me, I don't have a problem with the cast of this movie because it's just 3 people and their performances was on 100. I mean, a solid 100 out of 10. You know, we had likes of Gabriel Afolayan, who played Kola, who is a soldier. We have Buchi Franklin, who was a police officer, also the assassin. And we have Zenab Balogun, who played Shalewa, the very pregnant wife in this movie. Their performances was on 100. I was pained that you have this talent on a movie set and then the storyline limits them. It just stops them from actually being the best that they can. You can't blame an actor for being a doctor because that's what the script says. I feel like the movie writers didn't do a good job. So let's go into some aspects of the movie I feel like it wasn't really given for me. First things first, I was wondering, the writer of this story, is it that the person doesn't know what death means? You're told that someone is going to knock on your door any moment from now and the person's aim is to drop you dead. And you are crying, like you're soft. If I was told that someone is going to knock on my door to kill me, I will be on a different level because whatever I do will determine if I will keep existing or not. She was just too soft. She was too soft. She was too soft. That's what I'm saying. I don't blame Shalewa because that's what the script says. She's supposed to be active, you know, trying to, okay, so what's the way forward? How do I felt maybe the scriptwriter did not understand what it means to be dead. Because if you do, you would know that when someone tries to kill you, you put in your best fight, as in you take it all in. Also, there was a scene where Kola was told that the confidential file he thought he was protecting was actually an empty file, that all he was told was a lie. You can go see the movie and understand it for yourself. And then you are realizing that everything you've fought for, everything that you've believed in is a lie, and that the file in the cupboard is an empty one. You run to the cupboard, pick up the file, and you're looking for a seat to sit down. Your wife's life is at stake. The person that you trust, who is up there protecting you, giving you all the protection you need, is the enemy. You just realized. The file he gave you, telling you it's a confidential file of a lot of confidential things in there and that you should guide it and protect it. Someone told you it's an empty file. You pick up this file and you have the audacity to sit down, like you're looking for seat, you know, trying to get comfortable, opening the file. How? It's not realistic for me. There was a talk about a massacre. That was what Kola was involved in that got him sitting at the safe house. The movie writer didn't bother to explain to us what this massacre is all about, who was killed, how was Kola involved, how did it lead to him being in a safe house, what's the story behind all of it. None of this was shown to us, as in we literally did not understand it. So here's the thing, you're shooting a loop movie, and like I said, you're going to be shooting over and over again. In between these loops, there should be a backstory, you know, to explain to us what exactly is going on. So maybe before the next loop, you take us back memory lane and tell us what had happened, explain to us how she got pregnant, and then after the loop had happened, before the next loop, you explain to us how Kola was involved in the massacre. Then the loop happens again, and afterwards you explain to us how he got to, you know, run to a safe house, where this safe house is, and stuff like that. It would be better that at least we, the viewers, would know that before every loop there is a backstory that spices things up. We don't just get to see Shalewa in the house and Kola in the office. We get to see something else before the next loop. That would give us like a morale, the agility or the interest to keep watching. Let's just talk about the cinematography. It was a good one. It's very beautiful. It's one of the productions that I would say is a clean production. When I say a movie has a clean production, it means that the video editors did a good job. I love the color grading. It was a beautiful watch. It wasn't a beautiful story for me to watch, but it was a beautiful view. The balance of the colors, the costume department. They didn't really do much though, because obviously they wore the same costume all over and over again, but at least they got the right one for the movie. The set design for this movie was good in Shalewa's shots. Now let me explain it. So the house scene where Shalewa was obviously in the house before the assassin came, it was beautiful. You can see the decor and everything, lovely. The movie says Kola is in a safe house. How did Kola get to take frames of his wife, his family, and arrange them on, you know, in a safe house? When people are going to safe houses, frames are not one of the things that they carry. You can take maybe a picture or whatever it is, but it was more like a house in the house. Even the decor, the color, the cupboard, everything, it was still giving Shalewa's, as an a house, the house Shalewa was in. There was literally nothing looking like a safe house about where Kola was. So I don't know if they were trying to play with our intelligence or what exactly they were trying to get at. But you see that location for Kola's safe house, it was definitely not a safe house. Something got me thinking. The soldier Kola, who is in a safe house. The movie doesn't tell us how he's involved in the massacre, how he got mixed up, what his role in that massacre was. We don't know if he was even a bad person or a good person. We don't know at all. But that's not my problem. The movie says that Kola is in a safe house because of a massacre that had just happened. How do you, as a soldier, you are in such an unsafe place in your life, and then you leave your pregnant wife to stay in the house alone. But you, who is the soldier, you are in a safe house. How is that even possible? Nobody to guard your pregnant wife, but you are the soldier in the movie. How? It's not realistic for me. If I was a man and I was a soldier going to hide in a safe house because I'm scared of someone coming to take my life, I would think about my wife too, because the truth is, if you can't get me, you certainly would get me through my wife. Why not send her to family or send people to stay with her, protect her too? Why is it you, the soldier, that needs protection more than a heavily pregnant woman? That's why I'm saying that the problem in this movie are the writers. I don't know why they wrote it like this. It is definitely not realistic. Another question that this movie gives us is, what triggered this loop? I'm likening this movie to The Beats, which I have seen. What triggered the loop in that movie was the beads, the spiritual beads that the bride was given. So this movie doesn't tell us what triggered this. It doesn't explain to us. It doesn't tell us. When eventually the loop ends, it doesn't tell us why or what triggered the end of the loop. The loop just happens, and then guess what? The loop just ends. I'm really speechless. Indeed, I am speechless. And I'm just wondering if, people do projects and they don't take it to professionals to go through it, or I don't know. Is there no way to have people go through your project before it comes? Not even going through your project. Literally, when it is still in the writing stage, have professional eyes look at it. Have professional people analyze it before putting in all your money and everything into production. Another question that I have for this movie is, who is the person on the landline? Where is this person? Is this person in the past? Is he in the future? Why is he helping Kola? What's his involvement with all of this? None of that was answered. Shalewa killed someone for the first time in her entire life, and her first move was to sleep. You literally have a dead body lying right beside you, and the first thing you want to do is sleep. So unrealistic. I have never seen a script that is so unrealistic as this. You have a dead body beside you. Is it that the writer does not understand what it means to have an assassin come after you, or what it means to have a lifeless body that you just use a bat to destroy his head? As in, how are you able to lie down in that same place to sleep? In fact, the fact that the first thing that you want to do is sleep is even weird. And then, talking about all of this leading up to the end of the movie ends, it just ends abruptly. It ends with Kola saying he has something to do. What is it that he had to do? We don't know. So many unanswered questions. To be honest, this is one of the hardest movie reviews I have ever had to do my entire life, because I'm struggling. I don't want to talk down so much on this project because I know that money was involved. A lot of things must have been put into making this movie a reality. My rating for this movie for the first time is 1/10. That one is for Gabriel Afolayan, Zenab Balogun, and Buchi Franklin. These are 3 actors that knows what they are doing. They know their onion. I'm sure, like I said, the writer did them dirty. So 1/10 is my rating for the movie Landline. A lot of work needs to be done, and I am hoping and praying that they are not planning to give us a part 2. Please don't give us a part 2. I don't need it. The best thing to do now is to go back, do your homework, write a better story. I'm expecting another story from Dele, but this time around, do your research, get the best writers. I've said this on the Nollywood Insiders, that a great movie is not just costume, it's not just set location, it's not crew members, it's not even the cast. You can have the best, the A-list actors in the Nollywood industry, but then your movie is whack. Why? The story. The story is the number one thing that you should focus on for every movie you want to shoot. Before finding the cast and the crew and location and anything, make sure your story is solid. Even if you act it with amateurs, people who are not known in the Nollywood industry, if the storyline is beautiful, people will watch it. So 1/10, and yeah.